Greetings, cyber citizens. Cali Joe from North Carolina, August 6, 2025. Thank you for listening. Previously, our podcast touched on the topic of the child welfare system. The topic of our children's safety is important and bigger than me. This area is by far more important than hits and or likes. I would like to remind the listeners that Cali Joe, Are You Listening? Is a creation of Prison Radio Riot and our hostess with the gnosis, Jay Renee. I've asked Jay to take on this important topic under her skills, and I am confident you will like the results. Please log on to prisonradioriot.com and check out the August 5th interview with my con pal, Joseph Carroll. I've known him for 16 years. His child welfare story will open your eyes. But please remember, God only breaks your heart to make it bigger. Cyber citizens,
this call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
This Olympics, our women's basketball is dominating, and there is plenty of equality in sports media representation, together with Sue Bird and number 6 for Tarazu. Cyber citizens, are you ready for social and criminal justice networking and solutions? Sea lions, polar bears, and penguins, so mine. Who's willing to head to Antarctica aside from myself? Who's ready for winter? Perhaps a prisoner exchange. I am certain there is a polar bear in our zoos I can swap places with. A message on Paul Whelan, an American prisoner detained in Russia. For those unaware, we have gotten him back. Paul Whelan plus 2 other Americans detained in Russia. I am certain his family is grateful for our government's unified effort to return him. Not to mention WNBA Brittany Griner for any and all participation. I bet that put a little pep in her step in the Olympics. She went on to beat Germany. Congratulations, Paul Whelan. So in preparing today's podcast, I bounced ideas around with my dad based off my current prison wants and needs. One such was to revisit our education topic with Pell Grants for prisoners under the Trump administration before he had left office. Well, I had spoken with my dad how I began the application process in 2021 with Iowa because they offer a printed material correspondence program. As I came to this facility in 2022, the process had mysteriously arrested its momentum. So I had griped about it with my dad, that those who by sentences are denied associate's, bachelor's, and master's degree in North Carolina prisons. I compared how California prisons offer bachelor's in journalism from UC Berkeley, and even Lyle Menendez was able to obtain a master's in urban planning, as he is a lifer. This conversation did not go well with my father. Pretty much, he argued that the average citizen cannot afford college, and the majority would feel that felons don't deserve degrees that they cannot use upon release. And he flagrantly and emphatically stated lifers don't need college education. Peacefully, he addressed that he paid for my associate's degree in Christian counseling from a Florida college and seminary, which I am close to finishing. So, how are you viewing prisoners' education? Should prisoners be denied degrees such as accounting, library science, architecture, and analytics, only to be granted landscaping, horticulture, commercial cleaning certificates, and upon release be involved in maintenance or even cleaning windows, then pay for their own education? Personally, the idea of ditch digging in a graveyard or tossing sawdust on vomit in a store does not sound appealing to me, though I am not disrespecting anyone in skilled trades. It's good paying work. Due to my autism, I just don't like dirt usually on my hands. It's a weird thing. Yes, I know. But am I wrong for wanting a better quality of life through education? Is manual labor positions after incarceration a form of limitation to the rights of ex-cons? What of those with physical limitations but having intellectual prowess? I admit the majority of ex-cons are laborers, and the intellectual ex-con is an exception to the rule. As for the topic on education, concerning my associate's degree for Christian counseling, a few months ago I revealed my eating disorder and my intent to take the program's course on eating disorders to get better understanding. Here are the results now coming out The first reaction paper based off the book, Food Addiction, The Body Knows, revised and expanded edition by Kay Shepard. A message from Professor McCorkle. It's not the Sermon on the Mount, so you'll be all right. And it reads as follows. Hello, Jonathan. I hope you're doing well. Just wanted to share my thoughts after reading your response statement. I have to say, you did a fantastic job exploring how emotional states, addictive behavior, and physical effects all tie into food addiction. Your personal insights and connections to concepts like metabolic imbalance and compulsive behaviors were really impressive. Your openness about the challenges of food addiction and its impact on health was truly enlightening. I admire your self-awareness and how you're tackling the issues head on. Your take on how the book relates to prison life and the struggles to avoid certain foods was intriguing. It's clear you understand the complexities of managing food addiction in different settings. Your reflections on managing food cravings in a prison environment offered a fresh perspective. Your determination to resist impulsive eating habits show your commitment to overcome food addiction. Keep up the good work. And that is the end of his letter. As for my future work opportunities, I have the perfect face for radio and podcasting, but reading books on tape, that's not for me. Worry not. I'm all right. Exercising with my pal of 16 years, Joe Carroll. According to him, he wants me to go home to my daughter, future son-in-law, and grandchild. No one ever thinks about the WNBA. Wouldn't Selena Lee, after I spoke of eating disorders the last time, covertly came around to check visually on me in the law library? I wasn't fooled for a moment. I think she is a secret in the closet fan of Cali Joe. Are you listening?
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
This Olympics, our women's soccer are proving Rodman, Smith, and Swanson are making the U.S. proud. Let's hear it for the Stars and Stripes, together with Reese's, Equality in Sports Media Representation. All right, cyber citizens, the campaign slogan of Kamala Harris is the prosecutor and the felon. With the millions of formerly incarcerated tax-paying voters, the ex-cons, regardless of how we feel, they exist and their vote matters too. Mass incarceration, for which Kamala Harris had her hand in, as a prosecutor and attorney general of California. Imagine how many 18 to 80-year-olds were incarcerated or placed on probation across the United States for the entire duration of her career. Let's not forget the additional votes of the family of the formerly incarcerated that languishes because the formerly incarcerated can't find stable employment nor take care of children's education costs and may contribute to the child going to the welfare system, not to mention difficulties with maternal health. I am certain Trump would tread through the primordial ooze to get the formerly incarcerated vote and use them like minions. Even after Trump's alleged failed assassination attempt, I am certain he would gladly take the votes of criminals. And for the record, let's not forget Bill Clinton's exploits with Jones and Flowers, the criminal activities per se, afterwards he supports the 1996 crime bill, PLRA, and ADEPA, which protects judges and prosecutors' bad acts and unlawful convictions. And I give it a little side note here. Happy birthday to Bill Clinton, Chipper Gore, and John Stamos, along with myself, Cali Joe, August 19th. Moving on, I think Shanahan has the only clean hands. However, Kennedy, being a capable leader, interpreting the Constitution as an environmental lawyer, was persuasive that the Constitution does not restrict the opportunity to run for the office of president because of a criminal background. Harris was a flagrant misapplication and abuse of the Constitution, but more so used a poor choice of barbs aimed at Trump instead offends millions of voters and incarcerated future voters and family. Let's focus on restorative justice for the formerly incarcerated instead of belittling them about opportunities or cut short ambition to succeed. Perhaps we should focus on less demonizing of the formerly incarcerated or focusing on what Kamala Harris can do for the people. that which Trump would not do for the people beyond maternal health and our environment. Our environment is very important. Though Harris meant well in her slogan, I would caution less Trumpian childish acts. If it's one thing many incarcerated Trump supporters feel, they hate his flagrant abuse of the First Amendment. They often say if Trump would shut up and get to work, his work product success is his jam. This is Cali Joe. Are you listening? Team Kamala Harris or Kennedy?